Hi Earthlings, it's been a while, right? So, hoping everyone's doing well. And if you're not, maybe you're going through what everyone calls ascension symptoms. So, remembering that we are Earthlings, and when our body does die, there's only one place it's going, and that is right here on this earth. And when our spirit, everlasting, is our consciousness can never come into the body again. It's in our atmosphere. It's in the realm of air, and our soul goes back to the blue sky day. We're all Earthlings, and that includes the animals, the trees, and everything like this. Now, the date right now is solstice. For me in my country, it's winter solstice, and if you can tell, something wrong with my voice because a lot's been going on, especially asthma and stuff, and I've been having a lot of grief lately, and my body's going through this thing, and I'm grieving. So it's not conscious, it's just this, it's in my body. So I will choke on my tears, and all sorts of stuff's going on. It can happen while I'm sleeping, while I'm awake. It's not dependent on anything that I'm thinking about or anything like that. It's just something my body has to go through, and I have to accept it. So I'm at this point where it's like, well, my body's got to do what it's got to do. It's like, I'm a woman, understand this. It's like a period. Your body has to do what it has to do. Now, menstruation, I mean, for that. Now, this solstice is thankfully the first full moon in the zodiacal house of Capricorn, and as I said, we have 2 this year. And oh, sorry, you lost me for a second. We have 2. This is our first one. I've got a lot of notes, and now, of course, I've been big on wellness and stuff as well. Remembering, of course, that Capricorn is about the plateau. The earth sign of leadership is about the height that's at the plateau. The plateau is where we're building our castle. It is where we are creating our dam. Our dam holds the reservoir of what it is that we're storing. Could be money, could be your emotions. I don't know what's going on. Could be whatever it is for you. Okay, so full moon Capricorn, first full moon in Capricorn. We are making a year of the dragon, of course, remembering we're in the wood dragon first time in however long. It's 60 years or something, they say. I said before I was 60, but I'm telling you, I'm 57. No, I'm 58. Oh my God, I was born in 1965, okay, work it out. So I've got 1 year to go, and I'll be 60 next year. So I'm only 59 this year when it's my birthday, and at this time I'm 58. I do have glasses with the other end, but I couldn't find them, so I found these guys instead. So first full moon, we're going through that process. If you want to go back through my other videos, you'll see that this is a very important year, and we are creating our new reality. So thank you to the year of the dragon for this opportunity, the year of the wood dragon. We are making and solidifying our first decisions from the insights, clarity around our career, reputation, and where our life is going in the career direction. So if you're like me, you've noticed that during this year we've come up with some really cool ideas, and we've been writing them down. And when we went through, I divided the year of the dragon into 6 stages, and when we went through the first stage, please excuse me, I'm just taking off my boots. We were sort of, it was formulating, but it was kind of a little bit more just coming in, and we were letting things just sort of come, and we would write it down, and some things solidified a bit better than others, and everything that solidified better is what is meant to be, so we're going to take it like that, okay? So in the beginning, we sort of like, we didn't spend so much money on tools or equipment, but as the time is progressing, we are starting to accumulate the tools that we're going to use. And so I'm just going to show you just a couple of things. Grab those ones, I think. And what I did was, so I've never been sort of like, I'm not a capitalist, so things are really tricky there, and I always think nobody's got enough money to pay for the what I do, but so I just sort of try and accommodate everyone else and not myself. So I'm going to stop doing that, but anyway, that's one of the decisions I've made, and I've learned that I must value my skills more. So anyway, when I didn't have a lot of money, I bought these little canvases. They're just tiny and they don't cost a lot, and I just did that because I wanted to buy it. But this is cool. I bought me one of these. This is my fine line gun, air gun, and this is the bottle cleaner, but it's also a smecky holder, which I think ace of base right there. Now, so I'm spending some money on myself, which is not something that I do a lot, but I'm generally doing it for my business, or for the choices that I've made for my dam of my plateau, okay, for my building of my walls. So where is my life going in the career direction? I've made strides in that realm, I was going to say, but it's not the right word. Please excuse me for my language. Now, we are managing and structuring firm and certain boundaries. Pardon me. Our career is practical, realistic, grounded in what we know has lasted the test of time. So, if you're gifted at something, or if you're really skilled at something, nobody's going to let you get away with not using your talent or your skill. They're going to keep on saying that they want you to do this and they want you to do that, and so that's how you know, in case you're wondering. So at this time we're putting our money into tools. So it's a good, we've got like 6 weeks, we've got 2 Capricorn full moons, so that's 2 months. So during 2 full moons, Capricorn, calling this the Capricorn phase, I am. So that's like a good, from now, let's just say it starts now in the outpour. Then we've got like 2 weeks to a new moon, and then that will be a new moon in Cancer. And then we've got a full moon in Capricorn again. And finally, how everything was going opposite on the opposite axes to what I was describing for the last, ever since Charles was king, to now is returning to its normal axis cycle. So Capricorn is in the opposing axis of Cancer, you know what I'm saying? Now, so we're at our plateau, and it's like, so it's like we've come through the fog, and we're just about there, okay? So, you know, the fog is really, we've dimmed our light. We were real good when that whole fogginess surrounded us, and we were in that state where we didn't know what was going on. Now, if I'm talking about the ascension for my physical being, so I started going through a period of grief. That's what I call it, because it's tears, it's choking on my tears, it's crying. My mind is not wrapped up in the grief, but my body is very much wrapped up in the grief. Now, I had an asthma attack on the 20th, I think it says here, like a serious asthma attack at night. And this has just started happening to me a few years ago. I nearly died, 2020. So I had another asthma attack at night, but I've got inhalers and everything. So, of course, I didn't die this time, but it was such a traumatic shock to my body, the experience that I did have diarrhea for the next 3 hours, because it's such an adrenaline rush when your body is doing everything to keep you alive. So that happened to me again. So diarrhea, right? So we're talking about the root chakra. And I don't know if I can show you. I'll try. I've got these overalls on. So more bounce per ounce is my new saying for me at the moment. I'm just hitching up my pants so that I can show you my puku. So it looks like I'm pregnant, and looks like I'm a good 6 months pregnant. Don't ask me why. It just started. Well, I had one incident of it last year, and it lasted for about a month, and then it went away. But this one's sort of sticking around for a little bit, and I can remember when it started because I couldn't fit my clothes and I couldn't bend down, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. But I'm so thankful for the wonderful people in my life. So I went down to the paint shop. Whoops, sorry guys. Went down to the paint shop, okay? And I was like, I'm getting so fat, I can hardly fit my overalls anymore. I'm going to have to get some more, blah, 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 blah. So they were like, what size do you think you are? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm a 10. So I got these overalls size 10. They were literally massive, so thank God. And I put them on, and first of all, before I put them on, I held them up, and I was like, holy cow, is that how big my ass is? Okay, I said ass. Is that how big my ass is? Oh my God. And I wrapped it around like my tummy to the side parts of me, and it freaking fitted. And I was like, oh my God, that's how big it is. That's just crazy. I can't believe it. But when I tried them on, I was like, they was exaggerating there. So I was quite happy to find out I was a 6 and not a 10. But I have never laughed so much about my weight increase as what I did that day. It was really funny. So more ounce per bounce, more bounce per ounce is the new saying for me. And it's so that's my sacral chakra, and then my solar plexus chakra, and the heart chakra is everything to do with like the asthma and the putting on of this weight that's happening and whatever's going on with me, the diarrhea. So I've loaded up all those chakras. Of course, it affected my throat and my voice, I had mumps 3 times when I was a kid. You're supposed to have it once, one on one side and one on the other, so I'm a bit different, and I had it 3 times. But I tell you what, something happened to me, and that was in May, and my tongue was so thick that down here I could hardly lift my tongue up and stuff. It was really weird. Now when I have this grief, I'm always going like this. So that's my third eye. I keep rubbing it all the time. I don't know what the heck. Had a massive headache. I have not been having blood noses, which I did have. I think it was March. So when all this grief stuff started, I had a lot of blood noses. I think it was March and April. And it was almost like if I sneezed too much, I'd get a blood nose. But this time, I had a massive headache as well. That was a couple of days ago. It was before the asthma, about the 18th or something. I had this wicked headache across here all day. Went and bought myself some Disprin, cost me $8. I was like, everything's really expensive. but I won't use Panadol and I won't use Nurofen for my headache. So anyway, I got the Disprin, sweet. That was that day, and also I've had to take a couple more Disprin, one this day, one that day, just to make sure that the headache was completely gone forever. And then the blood nose is just like a speckle of blood. That's all. There's no blood nose. It's just, but sometimes when I blow my nose, it's just I have a speckle of blood. So my body has been going through it, okay? But I'm going to work and I'm doing my best, and everyone is so understanding in this town. They know how terrible things have been for me and how everything is going. So I have a lot of supporters here. Now, we're at our plateau. Now, we're remembering that it's going to become permanent. So we're not mucking around in the year of the dragon. We're serious. This is why I'm here on YouTube, because I am trying to help, guide, at the same time as I'm going through it myself, so that we can all understand the importance. It's such an important year. Now, this is our plateau. Remember, it's going to become permanent, and the right ideas come and we will commit to them, working out the details of what we are going to be doing next in our life. Whether that's AI or whatever the revolution is in your part of the world. Everyone gets a robot. We have our own personal assistant. I'm personally looking forward to it. It's going to be great for me. Somebody that I can talk to that actually doesn't have to be a dick, can actually understand and answer and have a conversation would be wonderful. Imagine that. Now, yes, so because we are in the Pluto has moved into Aquarius again. It happened when Jesus was murdered. Unsuccessful murder, but they did try. He was a rebel. He was a zealot. And they got him, and they got a zealot, and they got a Sakari. But Jesus survived, okay? And he lived out the rest of his life. But he didn't live it out as a leader, like, yes, let us fight for our country at all. He lived a more aesthetic life, like a Buddhist. Now, thankfully our ideas have been enjoyable to us, keeping us in high spirits. Have your ideas been keeping you in high spirits? I hope so. My ideas have been keeping me in high spirits. Thus, at this point in time, our destiny is in how we can do our career quick fire, not complex. We're after our career shorter, faster, easier, quicker, independently, in our own way, by ourselves during this Aries Libra eclipse cycle. So our destiny is in Aries. That is an independent I am. Our fate is in Libra. That is this I balance, but it's not I balance, it's we stuff. It's actually about death, okay? I have tried to explain this before, and what is actually getting balanced in the house of Libra, it is our heart against the feather of truth. And that will happen upon our death for realsies. And it's said that the heart, which is our heart star, accuses our spirit. I wanted to create this, but my spirit was depressed. I didn't have to get up and go. No, the want isn't. I desired. That's our heart. I desired. Our soul needs, our heart desires, and our ego wants. Okay, so it's not about our ego in the house of Libra, but everything in the house of Aries is about our ego, okay? I am. So, now, I picked this up from somewhere else, but I like it, and it says, remember this. I said, remember this, but I've just, you know, it's malleable. So I just like reformed a few things. Just because you're learning to drive this matrix and you got some bunny hops and some stalls does not mean the clutch or the accelerator is faulty on the machine. It just means we're learning to master it. Okay, so like when we're learning to drive. Okay, so we're going to drive this matrix, and I've been trying to show you how we move the blocks of the universe in our physical reality. And I was showing you, it's like how some blocks will raise up and some blocks will lie down flat and give you a path that you can walk along, and these will block you, and different things are happening all the time. A block might happen, you might have had a path along here, but your attitude or your state of mind or how you emote, your emotion, your energy in motion is always playing out in the universe, and different things are going down. Okay, now up and down. Emotions are energy in motion, and information is the inform 3D reality. Okay, information is how the universe works. So let us go to, what have we got? I have now, we're not going to use hope, because from what I've looked at, hope was left in the container from Pandora, remember? And back in the creation period, there was a big deception that was laid out, and all these ill deeds or ill thoughts or illnesses, sicknesses, bugs in the system. Okay, from curiosity, the Pandora's curiosity may have been a curiosity, but what happens is our Creator uses knowing. So Prometheus created humans, but Epidemius created all the animals. There's a lot of animals. There's so many different creatures. That's a lot, isn't there? So our Creator uses knowing. Keep faith in the knowing. So forget about I hope this and I hope that. Don't use it in your vocabulary. Change that to faith in the knowing. Faith in the knowing. Our Creator uses knowing. So we have faith in our Creator, knowing that what will come to pass is for us. Now, okay, so I wrote this about goals. A goal becomes serious if I create a system around it. Create systems, not goals. The goal is the desire I want to attain, and that's the direction. The system is the steps of what I will take to get there. Now, remembering our map. So, I think I've already read this out to you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. If you want to ask your life a question, or if you want to ask the universe a question for your life, how good can life really get for me? That's a good one, isn't it? How does it feel to live my life in love, with respect, being cared for, being considered, being cherished? That's a